Everyone in Balaba village marveled at old Oku. He wasn't like any other elder. With his bald, shining head and red and white robes, Oku was a sight to see. But there was something even more curious about him. Oku had over 400 concubines. Every day, people would whisper, "How does he do it?" One sunny morning, a young boy named Chima ran up to Oku as he sat under the big mango tree. "Elder Oku," Chima asked, his eyes wide with wonder, "how come you have so many women who like you?" Oku chuckled, his laughter deep and kind. He tapped his walking stick on the ground, looked around and said, "Ah, young Chima, it's not as hard as it sounds. Let me tell you how it happened." When Oku was a young man, he was known as the problem solver of Balaba. He would help anyone who needed it. If a farmer's goat was lost, Oku would find it. If someone's crops were wilting, he'd help water them. People started calling him the village helper. One day, a young woman named Neka came to him, holding a broken clay pot. "Oku," she said, "I don't have the money to buy a new pot. Could you help me?" Oku smiled and said, "Don't worry, Neka, I'll help you fix it." And with some clever tricks, he mended the pot as good as new. Neka was so grateful that she told everyone about Oku's kindness. Soon, other women came with small problems. Some wanted him to fix their baskets. Others needed help with cooking or firewood. Every time, Oku helped without asking for anything in return. His heart was as big as the village itself, and he never turned anyone away. As the years went by, more and more women grew fond of Oku. He was gentle, helpful, and never boasted about his deeds. They saw him as someone who could be trusted, someone who cared. One by one, they became his friends, then his admirers, until, before he knew it, he had over 400 women who loved him. But soon, something began to change in Oku's heart. Instead of helping just to be kind, Oku started to enjoy the attention. He began asking for little gifts in return, like fine beads or sweet yams. At first, the women were happy to give, for they still loved him. But as time went on, Oku started asking for more and more. "Bring me palm wine," he would say to one woman, and she'd hurry to fetch it. "Make me new clothes," he'd ask another, and she'd work day and night to sew him fine robes. Oku was starting to feel proud, thinking, "Look at all I have. Everyone gives me whatever I want." Then, one cloudy day, an old woman named Amara came to him. She had little to give, but she brought a small basket of fruits and a worn cloth, tied together with care. "Elder Oku," she said, bowing her head, "I don't have much, but I wanted to thank you for the kindness you've shown me in the past." Oku looked at her gift and frowned. "Is this all you could bring me, Amara?" he scoffed. "You could have tried harder." Hurt and embarrassed, Amara lowered her head and walked away in silence. Please subscribe and share if you're enjoying this story. Word of Oku's new attitude spread quickly around the village. The women who once loved him began to feel used and unappreciated. They realized that Oku was no longer the same kind man who had once helped without asking for anything in return. Now, he only seemed to care about what they could give him. One by one, the women stopped coming to visit him. When Oku sat under the mango tree, he found himself alone. The laughter, the smiles, and the friendly chatter had all disappeared. Days turned into weeks, and Oku began to feel lonely. He missed the warmth and happiness he once felt from helping others. Sitting alone, he started to remember the old days when he helped simply because it made him happy, not because he wanted something in return. Finally, one evening, Oku gathered his courage and walked through the village. He went to each woman he had taken advantage of, bowed his head and said, "I am sorry. I was wrong to ask for so much. I let my pride get the best of me, and I forgot the true joy of kindness." Some women were silent, some nodded, and others forgave him right away. But Oku knew he had to earn back their trust. So from that day on, he worked twice as hard to be kind and selfless, just as he had been in the beginning. He helped without asking for anything and showed the village that he had learned his lesson. Soon enough, people started gathering around him again, not because of what he wanted, but because of the kindness he freely gave. And though he no longer had as many admirers as before, Oku's heart was full, and he had found happiness once more. And that, my dear friends, is how Oku learned the true meaning of kindness and humility, becoming the beloved elder of Balaba village once again.
If you liked the story you just listened, please subscribe, like and share. Let me also know your thoughts in the comment section.